And over at the White House, President Trump is sending a new message to NATO allies this morning. He asked what would happen if the U.S., quote, finished off what's left of the Iranian terror state and let the countries that use it be responsible for the strait. Of course, he's referring to the Strait of Hormuz. CBS News White House reporter Olivia Rinaldi is live outside the White House for us, and she joins us right now. Good to see you again, Olivia. So has the president made any progress on getting NATO allies to help police the Strait of Hormuz?
Mugo, it's great to see you. The short answer is no. The president has made no progress on getting more NATO allies, European allies, and even China to sign on in trying to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. The president has expressed displeasure with NATO allies, saying that the U.S. rather came to the aid of Ukraine and asking that they come to the aid of the U.S. in this mission in Iran. But NATO chiefs, members of NATO, have said that it is a defensive alliance, and that is why they came to the aid of Ukraine in the form of military aid, humanitarian aid, economic aid, and that the adventure that the U.S. and Israel is going on in Iran is not one of defensive, but rather offensive. Still, the president is very upset with allies for not doing more to help out, and making the point that those allies do get the majority of their energy through the Strait of Hormuz, that a lot of it has to transit through there before heading over to European partners, and therefore they should have more of an increased posture in that region because of that. Take a listen to what he said yesterday to some of these allies, particularly those NATO allies.
I think NATO's making a very foolish mistake, and I've long said that, I wonder whether or not NATO would ever be there for us. So this was a great test, because we don't need them, but they should have been there.
Foolish mistake, great test. Those are some of the words that the president is using for U.S. allies, NATO allies, not coming to his aid in the Strait of Hormuz. But as of right now, oil, the price of oil, barrel of oil, I just checked, it's about $98 right now and climbing today. Certainly quite notable as the Strait of Hormuz remains largely closed to any ships that are trying to transit through there. Excuse me.
And Olivia, as we've been reporting, we know President Trump's counterterrorism director has resigned because of this ongoing war with Iran. The president made a new post about Joe Kent. What did it say?
Yeah, it actually was just a screenshot of a previous statement that Joe Kent had made on X, where he encouraged the president in January of 2020, 6 years ago, not to sit and wait for the next attack, to wipe out Iran's ballistic capability and get out and get our troops out of Iraq. They are only targets now. Notable for several reasons. One, because this was a position that Mr. Kent had expressed to the president back in 2020 before he was a part of the administration. And since his letter yesterday that he posted on X, he said he cannot in good conscience support the U.S. war in Iran. He also said that the pretenses in which the U.S. went into a war with Iran were pushed in to that conflict, that war, by Israel. So quite notable there that the president sharing this statement that Mr. Kent had made back in 2020. Also for the fact that he went on to say, in talking about Mr. Kent had previously lost his wife in Syria, so he said no more targeting of U.S. troops there. So obviously a very personal thing for him to be saying, but the president resharing that message in an effort to show the disparity in what Mr. Kent had said back in 2020 versus what he's saying now.
Right. And speaking of President Trump, he will soon head to Dover Air Base for the dignified transfer of some of those fallen service members who died in that refueling aircraft crash. What can we expect during that event?
Yeah, we are expecting the president to leave here very shortly. I can hear Marine One on the South Lawn right now. It just landed a short while ago. He will head over to Dover and participate in the dignified transfer, where that is when those service members who were killed are received when they come home. These are the members that unfortunately had died during that mid-air refueling crash that happened last week. They are now coming back to the U.S. The president will head there. So far, we have seen 3 dignified transfers as a result of the war in Iran. The president was there at the first one with the vice president. The second time the vice president received those fallen service members, and today the president will be there to receive them. So we'll be watching that. That's supposed to happen sometime this afternoon. Mugo.
Okay, Olivia Rinaldi outside the White House for us today. Thank you.